Hola, I see people coming in. Awesome. Hi, how are you? Welcome to Stay Connected with Mel Robbins, and it is March 27th, and it is Friday. Can you believe it's Friday? You made it to Friday. I did not realize it was Friday until I looked at the calendar and saw that it was Friday. I'm Mel Robbins. I am a best-selling author of the 5-Second Rule. It's in 32 languages. You can see some of them behind me. I also am the creator and author of 3 #1 audiobooks on Audible that are all about facing change, facing crisis, healing trauma. And I am the host of the Mel Robbins Show, which is a daytime syndicated television show here in the United States that airs 5 days a week. It is still on television. I am on television today, but this is Stay Connected. And this is a live broadcast that I do every single weekday. We started this when the news hit about the coronavirus, and we decided that we wanted to do something to stay connected to you and help you face this unprecedented moment of change, of uncertainty, and I'm going to go ahead and say it, and of opportunity. And one of the things that you're going to hear me say is that you're one decision away from a better life, and I truly believe that. And I'm also going to remind you, and I remind you every day on Stay Connected, that you are one decision away from a better day. And that while the world around you is incredibly overwhelming right now, there are very simple things that you can do to make today a better day. There are simple things that you can do to make today a day where you feel like you're in control. There are simple things that you can do to make today a day where you feel happier and you're present to the joys that are around you, despite the fact that there is so much uncertainty and fear and frustration in the world right now. One of the things that I would love for you to do is jump into the comments right now and tell me where are you watching from right now? And I'm going to start to say hello from London, hello from San Diego, hello Sweden, hello everybody who is tuning in from around the world. Stay Connected goes live every single weekday, 9 a.m. on the West Coast in the United States, noon on the East Coast. It's 4 p.m. for our friends in the UK. Hello, New Orleans. Hello, Belgium. Hello, Michigan. Hello, DC. Hello, Long Island. Hello, Canada. Hello, Connecticut. Hello, Northern Minnesota. Hello, India. Hello, Italy. Hello, Jamaica. Welcome to the conversation. This is truly a global conversation and a global community that watch Stay Connected. And we have a topic today that is so awesome because I am offender #1 in our household, and that is nagging. Are the people in your life driving you crazy right now? That's what we're going to talk about. How to deal with yourself if you're the nagger, and how to deal with the people in your life that are driving you crazy. That's the topic today. Let me welcome you in, though, because I see Romania, I see Lebanon, Spain, hello, Alaska. I love knowing that we are going through this together. And you have no idea how much strength you give me. You have no idea just how awesome it is to be able to be connected with you. And so it's Friday. Give yourself a pat on the back. For our friends in Australia where it's 3 o'clock in the morning, I realize it's already the weekend. And we are going to send you into the weekend feeling empowered, encouraged, positive, so that you can take that all the way through the next couple days of your life. All right. So here we go. We're talking about nagging today. And one of the things I want to do quickly is let's just zoom out and let's just call this situation what it is, okay? You didn't choose to be in this situation, but you have to choose how you're going to respond to it. Because if you don't choose how you respond to this unprecedented moment of change and uncertainty, this moment and the stress and fear that comes with it, it's going to eat you alive inside. And so I'm going to teach you how you choose to respond to stress. I'm going to teach you how you choose to respond to uncertainty, because you get to choose who you're going to be right now. You get to choose how you're going to show up for your family, for your friends, and most importantly, for yourself. You get to choose whether or not the stress and the uncertainty and the fear is eating you alive, or you choose to teach yourself to be steady, to be courageous, to be positive, and to be more resilient in the face of this moment of collective uncertainty. None of us have gone through this before. I mean, we're making this up as we go along. And I am using this broadcast, Stay Connected, as a way to stay grounded, as a way to stay positive, as a way to talk about the little things that are starting to creep up in your day-to-day life in this new reality that are making the situation more stressful for you, that are negatively impacting your relationships with your family. And so I love to see that you are choosing to be stronger. I see you in the comments. If you have just joined us, welcome to Stay Connected. I'm Mel Robbins. I'm thrilled that you're here. I love seeing you watching from India and Wyoming and from all over the world. And I love what Sharon said. Sharon says, I'm choosing to do my best to not have a short fuse. How many of you feel like you are nagging more than ever? It's okay to admit this. You can give me a thumbs up or you can give me some hearts. Or do you feel like you're getting nagged more than ever? Oh, there go the hearts. It's so much easier to say that somebody else is nagging me than to say, yep, I'm the nagger. Well, I am completely the number one offender in my household right now. And here's the reason why nagging and getting on people's case and having a short fuse is at an all-time high right now. Because when you feel powerless, you will turn to perfection. I'm going to say that again. When you feel powerless, you will turn to perfection. You will turn to micromanaging the littlest thing as a way to try to manage your feelings of feeling powerless about the bigger things. I am doing this right now. I may be America's life coach, but right now I am my family's worst nightmare, because the stress and the uncertainty, I'm Miss Steady Eddie when I'm talking to you. I am really good when I'm focused on work. But the one thing that I have noticed that has set me off, oh my gosh, is the kitchen. I walk out of my office and I walk into that kitchen, and cooking for me is a way that I take care of the family. It's a way that I feel a little in control. It's something that I do to de-stress. When I walk into that kitchen and I see that the sink is full of everybody's dirty dishes and there's stuff all across the counter, I literally lose my mind. I stand there. Do you do this? I stand there and I start yelling people's names. Oakley, Sawyer, Kendall, whose dishes are these? And you know, I want you to help me out here, because I am not just a nagger. I feel like I need an adjective to describe the kind of nagging that I'm doing right now. It's that kind of nagging where it's like I feel justified. Do you have an adjective that I should put in here? Is it justified? Is it entitled? Is it righteous? I'm sure that there's a nagger in your life that feels like they are so deserving of nagging at you. I mean, I'll give you an example. Like, I go into the kitchen and I literally am like, I've just been working all day and I'm keeping us afloat and I'm trying to make chicken teriyaki and homemade bread for you people. And why can't you do? I mean, yes, I see self-righteous, obvious, righteous, justified, entitled. I feel like I am so right. And what is one of the mantras of Stay Connected with Mel Robbins? One of the big takeaways from every episode of Stay Connected with Mel Robbins is not only that you didn't choose to be in this situation, but you can choose how you show up. You can choose who you're going to be. You can choose who you're going to be for yourself. That's a huge takeaway from Stay Connected with Mel Robbins. Here's another one. It's not who's right. It's what's right. And when you find that you start succumbing to nagging, you feel right about your nagging. So what I want you to do right now in the comments is, and if you're just joining us, please tell us where you're tuning in from so we can welcome you in. And I see a lot of other naggers out there who are nagging about the dishes and nagging about the kitchen and nagging about the state of the house now that you're all in it together. And I see great adjectives that you feel justified, you feel disrespected, you feel entitled with your nagging, right? I do too. But remember, it's not about who's right, it's about what's right. And that's what we're going to focus on. Because, I get it. I want the kitchen to be clean. It's like this little thing that triggers me. If the kitchen's clean, my world is in order. If the kitchen is clean, I feel respected. When I walk in there and it's out of control, I feel disrespected. I feel disordered. I feel out of control. I feel stressed out. It's this massive, weird trigger for me. And again, let's come back to the thing I want you to start to think about. When you feel powerless, you're going to turn to becoming a perfectionist about something as a way to control things. And then you start to control the people around you as a means to stay in control. So tell me, I see all these people going, same. I feel the same way, Mel. What is it that triggers you? What are you nagging about right now? What is it? Let's see what people are nagging about. People are saying, I feel that, you're talking a lot about your triggers, your daily responsibilities. You're talking about cleanliness in the household. You're talking about where the groceries go. You're talking about the curfew. That bothers you. The kitchen. I see a lot of people upset about the kitchen. Maybe the kitchen is the place that people not listening to you is something that is turning you into nagging. Kids' stuff everywhere. I'm nagging about the germs. I'm nagging my spouse because they're not doing things a particular way. I'm nagging people about not expressing their feelings. Ooh, I see all these. These are so good. Well, not good that you're nagging, but these are good examples of what we're all nagging about, right? And, one of the reasons why it's important to start to identify what you're nagging about is because it's only going to lead to more stress in your household. It's only going to lead to your family members not want to be near you. It's only going to lead to more negativity. Because just like this virus is contagious, negativity is contagious. And I see you everywhere. The room's not organized. I'm nagging about that. The laundry is something that I'm nagging about. For those of you that say you're not nagging people, are you nagging yourself? Are you making yourself feel guilty and nagging yourself because you're not productive enough? Are you making, I see a lot of hearts for that. Are you making yourself feel guilty because you're not productive enough or you're not caught up on your classes yet? Are there people that are nagging you? What are people nagging you about right now? Because it's one thing to nag other people, and that's a form of spreading negativity. But then there's that other piece of getting nagged by other people and feeling the negativity. So what are you nagging? I see Emba, somebody nagging themselves. What are you nagging yourself about? Because this is another form of perfectionism. You turn it inward because you can't control what's going on out there. You're nagging that you're sleeping too much. You're nagging that about productivity. I see this. You are not alone in feeling this way. My husband is nagging me about the teenagers being teens. Oh my God, that's something in our household too. You just made me realize that. I nag Chris, my husband, about how our kids are behaving. You're so right about that. You're so right about that. Yes, I'm paralyzed and I'm not doing what I need to do and I'm stressing about it and nagging myself. Okay, so we've learned nagging is a big problem. We're all doing it or we're all it's being done to us. So the first thing about changing behavior is you've got to understand why you're doing it. You're nagging people for two reasons. One is you probably did this already on some level, but now that you're in a hyper stressful and uncertain period of time, that behavior pattern is going up and becoming more intense and more frequent because you nag people as a way to release stress. You nag people because you're overwhelmed. You nag people and get triggered very easily by the state of cleanliness or the noise in the house or the chaos in the house or whether or not somebody's washed their hands when they've come in from the outside because of your stress. And so, given that I want you to realize, ding, 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 nagging is stress expressed. When you're nagging people, you're taking your internal stress and you are expressing it and you are spreading it everywhere, okay? So now that you know that it is another form of stress, that gives us a reason to get control of it. Because I want you to go through this unprecedented moment of time powerfully. I want you to go through this being in control of what you're doing. And I want you to go through this bringing a positive attitude and a positive approach to this unprecedented situation, okay? Because more negativity is just going to make you feel more stressed out. So here's a couple tips for what you can do. You ready? I love these tips. Number one, this comes from a tweet that is going viral. I do not know this woman. Her name is Molly Tolsky, but her tweet's all over the place. And she originally tweeted that if you and your partner are at home and you're getting stressed out, make up a fake work colleague to blame everything on. I think we should do that in our households, okay? So let's add a member of your family, an imaginary friend to everybody's family right now, and give the person a name. And when you walk into the kitchen, because a lot of you are triggered by the state of affairs in the kitchen, and the mess that's in the kitchen, just like I am, it turns me into Miss Nagging Queen, super justified about it. I want you to, instead of screaming at your family, Sawyer, Kendall, Oakley, Chris, like some sort of psychopath, and you know what they're doing when they hear you do that? Oh, God, I don't want to deal with her. What a psychopath. They're rolling their eyes and running for the hills. Funny, every time I start yelling, everybody in my family suddenly volunteers to walk the dog. You know, we can't get anybody to do it all day long, but the second I start yelling about the dishes in the sink, whoop, they're all out of the house. I'm going to give my frustration imaginary name, Tony. That's the name I'm picking. I'm picking Tony. I apologize to all the Tonys out there, but it's the first name that came to mind. So when I walk out of this live stream and inevitably everybody's dishes are in the sink, instead of screaming at Mike, oh, I see Gary. Somebody's naming their Gary. Put Dimitri. I see Dimitri. Everybody, please put in the name of the imaginary person. Becky, sorry to any Beckys out there. Ralph, I see a Ralph. Who are you going to blame this on? Roberto, what the hell are you doing putting the dishes in the sink again? Isn't this a great idea? Because it makes it kind of funny. It's a funny way to relieve your stress and anxiety without infecting your family with negativity. Because getting nagged, there's nothing worth. Priscilla, Belinda, Felicia, Karen, Hank, I see all these names. I love it. That's who you're going to blame your stress on now, okay? Number two, stop using the word you and start using the word I. So when you walk into the kitchen and you see that, in my case, my son or daughters have made a full lunch spread for themselves. They left the bread out, the milk out, the salad fixings out, everything's out, sitting on the counter. All of that stuff right there. Okay, just waiting for me to clean up. When I see them, what I'm going to want to do, because I'm stressed and I'm triggered, is I'm going to want to be like, why did you, when you, you shouldn't do this, when you make lunch, when you do this, and when you use the word you, it feels like an attack. Practice, and you can use the 5-second rule, count backwards, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, to stop yourself from nagging and snapping and losing it with your kids and your family or anybody else you're living with. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and start the sentence with I. I feel overwhelmed when I come out of my office and I see a massive amount of stuff to clean up. I feel like you believe that it is my job to pick up after you. It is so hard to do, but there's something magical that happens, is when your kids are making all of the mess, or your roommate is, or your partner is, and they get distracted and they don't clean it up, they're not thinking, oh, my mom, who is my maid, is going to clean this up. They're just on to the next thing. They're not even thinking about the impact. And making them wrong isn't going to have them change what they're doing, because when you start attacking somebody or nagging at them or griping at them, guess what happens? They tune you out. They don't hear anything that you're saying. And so it's also not effective. If you want to change the behavior of the people around you, start using the word I in the sentence and talk about the impact. Because when you listen to the impact that your behavior has on somebody else, it's not an attack. You actually start to feel bad about what you're doing. And they're listening, so they may just remember it. I see some of you saying, well, I just never clean up at him. I can't handle that. I really can't. My tolerance for the mess, especially in this situation, I just don't have it. And I also don't want to have to clean up after them. So use the word I. And then here's the other thing. This has been a huge one for me. I'm still working on getting them to understand that we all need to help with the kitchen. But just pick one thing that's going to be your thing. Just pick one thing. For me, it is the kitchen. It's going to be a process every day of not snapping, of not nagging. They're going to forget. They're going to get distracted. They're going to come down from their online classes, and they're going to then realize they've run out of time as they're making a grilled cheese, and then they're going to run back upstairs to get back online, and there's going to be a mess there. Right? I get it. I understand, but it triggers me. The one thing I'm going to continually remind everybody that I need help with is keeping the kitchen clean. Everything else, you guys, I'm letting go. I have not even ventured into my children's bedrooms in the last 5 days. I have no idea what's going up on there. I have no idea if there's food up there. I have no idea if the cat has taken a dump up there. I have no idea if their beds are made, if there's I don't care. I'm letting it go. So you need to pick one thing that's going to be your thing, that you are going to allow yourself to micromanage a little bit. It's your thing. For me, it's the kitchen. What are you going to put in there? Put the one thing down, because by writing this one thing, you are also committing to letting everything else go. You got it? So I want to see, what is it, everybody? What do you put it in there? I see you're resistant to doing this. I see that you are. You don't want to just pick one thing because you want to be upset about everything. You want to try to control everything. Yep, my kids' rooms are a war zone too. So I see people picking the kitchen. I see the kitchen. How old are my kids? 21, 19, and 15. I see people saying, my bedroom is off limits. Everyone's saying kitchen on YouTube. I wonder what they're saying on LinkedIn. We're going to check our crowd on LinkedIn. I wonder if they're saying their office, or the noise, or interruptions on live streams for work. The living room is the one thing. Oh, see, Nancy's saying, I can't do one thing. Nancy, you have to do one thing, or you're going to drive yourself and your family crazy. You got to have one thing. In LinkedIn, it's the living room. And I bet it's because so many people are having to find spots to work in, right? And work from home in. The kitchen, the foyer. No, pick one, Ellen Goddess, not the kitchen and the foyer. Look at the whole house. Pick one thing. The whole house is going to make you bananas. Okay? Pick one thing, everybody. This is where you got to learn to let go a little bit. This is where you got to learn that perfectionism creates more stress. Perfectionism is a coping mechanism for stress. That's all that it is. You're trying to control something because you can't control what's going on around you. And so I need you to bring a more positive attitude, which is you're going to name one person. Here's how you come with a positive attitude if you're a nagger. Next, we're going to talk about what to do if you're getting nagged. You're going to add one imaginary person to your family or your living situation. And that's who you're going to blame everything on. For me, it's Tony. Second, you're going to start every sentence with I. So I feel. Not you did this, and why don't you do this, and you can do this, and can you do me a favor, and They stop listening. Say, I feel this. I need your help. Then it's about you, and they won't feel attacked, and they'll listen. And based on the research, they'll be more likely to respond to that. And third, pick one thing that you're willing to be a psycho about. Pick one thing that you're going to be a little controlling about. And then let everything else go. Let everything else go. Okay? Now let's switch gears and let's talk about, what do you do when you're the one getting nagged? When it's your spouse or your partner or your roommate that's on you, or your parents or your grandparents, somebody that's on you. What do you do? Number one, I want you to understand, because when you understand why somebody's doing something, number one, it's easier to change the behavior. And number two, it's easier to rise above why somebody's doing something and not take it personally. So anybody right now that is nagging you, they are doing it because they are stressed out. That roommate, I see it in the comments, that screamed at you about the dishes, they screamed at you because they are stressed out. And they can't scream at the coronavirus. They can't scream at all of the things that they're disappointed at. They can't scream at all of the things about the situation that make them frustrated. So they're screaming at you, okay? That's why people are nagging you more right now. That's why people are using a tone of voice that is grating. That's why people are driving you crazy, because they're stressed out. And I need you to understand that, because we all need to understand right now it's not about you. We're all going through this together. This isn't happening to just you. Everybody is stressed out. And so, number one, realizing that anybody nagging, anybody who's more on edge, anybody who's driving you crazy, anybody who's screaming at you, that is them feeling unbearably stressed. It doesn't excuse their behavior, it explains it. And when you can explain behavior and understand it, you can distance yourself from it. So here's what works based on the research. Validate what the person's feeling. So when your roommate screams at you about the dishes in the sink, turn to your roommate and say, I totally get how stressed out you are. I understand that this is a really, really trying time. When you validate somebody's feelings, it's unbelievable. It's like, whoosh, the stress disappears. The second thing you're going to do then, after you validate how the person's feeling, is you need to express a boundary. I understand that you're really stressed out. I understand that you're worried about your job. I understand that you're a nurse and you're exhausted and you've been putting your own life at risk to take care of everybody. I totally understand that, and thank you. And please don't yell at me. I hear you. I will make sure there are no pots for you to clean, but please don't yell at me. That is what you need to do. So when I walk into the kitchen, inevitably at some point this weekend, and somebody has decided to melt chocolate chips in the microwave and not put a cover on the top and exploded all over the inside, and it looks like somebody has vomited chocolate on the inside of the microwave and then conveniently walked away to go do something else, and I inevitably snap because I'm human. Again, I may be America's life coach, but right now I am my family's worst nightmare because I'm human. I'm doing the best I can. I'm working these strategies that I'm sharing with you, and some days I'm better at it than others, and that's the point of this. You show up and you do your best. My family will literally say to me, they're using these tools on me too, Mom, I know that you're stressed out. You're right, I should have cleaned it. Please don't use that tone of voice with me. That's all that you need to do. It diffuses the situation immediately. And so that's it. That's all I want you to do, everybody, is this week, this weekend, every day, take a deep breath. Remind yourself you didn't choose the situation we're going through, but you can choose how you show up. You didn't choose this moment in time that is squeezing you, but you can choose what comes out when you get squeezed. It doesn't have to be negative. It doesn't have to be out of control. It doesn't have to be stress. You can learn how to take a deep breath when you feel the volcano exploding inside you. And you can exhale, and you can choose how you speak, how you respond. And when you choose to own what's triggering you, and you choose to talk about how it's making you feel, and you choose to slow down how you're talking, you will be shocked at how much more positive you feel and how much more responsive your family and friends are. And look, here's the other thing. Just saying that, can you please keep the kitchen clean? It's not a one and done kind of thing, everybody. Because everybody that you're with wakes up every day in a different emotional place. Everybody that you're living with is stressed out. Everybody is trying the best that they can to hold it together. And so you, being someone who's working on being steady and strong and together, can be a leveling force in your household. And if you're living alone, this is so important that you pay attention and that you're self-aware when you're starting to get stressed out and when you're starting to turn it inward, because that's exactly who you're going to start nagging and beating up is yourself. And so you can use these exact same tools with yourself. First of all, put an imaginary roommate in your house and name him or her and start blaming things on them, because now we're using the power of objectivity to not turn it inward. 2, acknowledge how you feel. When you validate your own feelings or when somebody else validates how you feel, it disappears the hold that it has on you. And then pick one thing that you're going to focus on controlling and let everything else go. The reason why this is important is because positivity is not just more fun, but it is a strategy that you need desperately in your life right now. Optimism is not about putting icing on a cake that's been made out of poop. It's about having a mindset where you still see opportunity for growth and you still see solutions, even though you feel stressed out and beaten down and overwhelmed. Optimism is a mindset that will help you get through this. And one of the reasons why, if you look at all the videos that are going viral, what are they? It's not the negative crap that's going viral now. It's all the positive, amazing imagery that's going viral right now. It's the images of doctors and nurses dancing. It's the images of people holding up signs thanking doctors and putting their hands up, and waving and dropping off pizzas at hospitals. It is images of neighbors helping neighbors. It is images of us rallying together. It's the positivity, the encouragement. We need more encouragement right now. We need to be reminded that we're in this together. We need to be reminded that despite the fact that it's so overwhelming and scary and uncertain, that there are simple things that you can do that lift you up, that make today a better day. And so I want you to take the power of positivity and cheering and encouragement into your weekend this weekend. I want you to lead with calling out what everybody is doing right. When you see somebody in your family do something that's good, they pick up their shoes, compliment them. They put the dish in the dishwasher. Tell them thank you without that sarcastic tone, Mel Robbins. I'm talking to myself. When you see them not put their shoes up on the couch, thank them for being mindful. When you see somebody go and take one of the pets out for a walk, thank them. Because we all need to be encouraged right now. And when you start being a louder voice in your household or in the mirror talking to yourself and calling out the stuff that you're doing well, wow, you will have a chain effect of positivity start happening in your house. So I want to end Stay Connected on a super positive note. I want you to put in the comments right now, what do you want to be complimented for? What did you do already today or this week that you deserve to be cheered for? Rosalind, she has started writing her first book. That's awesome. I've got Perks of Being Green, thanking his coworkers for help. I've got, who else? Who else needs to be shouted out right now because you're doing something well? We've got MSOC, getting up and feeding. I've got Zen Master, not nagging. I got Liz Franco, you're keeping your shit together. You are doing an amazing job. Juliana on YouTube is working out every week. You go. I love that you're doing all that cooking. And Pure Bella Naturals, you're cleaning out the junk drawer. You deserve a pat on the back. Rima's meditating. That's fantastic. Oh, Maggie Carlo's being a good mom. You're doing a great job, Maggie Carlo. And I love, Vinny, that you're continuing to show up every day. I love that you've upped your web development studies. Hey, you just sang your school song with your kids. Way to go. You just paid a bill? Woo! You're balancing work at home and helping your daughter. You're killing it right now. You're absolutely killing it. You're supporting your daughter through her pregnancy? Cecilia, what? That's amazing. Cynthia's meditating? Get out of here, girl. That's incredible. Oh, wow. A ukulele for an hour? You are my superhero. I love that. You remodeled your guest room? Holy cow, watch out, HGTV. That's amazing. You're teaching your teenagers to iron? You deserve a gold medal. And when all this is over, I'd like you to come over to my house and teach my kids. In fact, I could actually use that. Hey, we got people teaching their coworkers how to use Zoom. That's amazing. Absolutely amazing. I got D. Roddy making stir fry. Jilly's making stir fry. You deserve a medal. Absolutely awesome. I want you to write in the comments something that you are proud of yourself for, something you deserve to be cheered for. Because honestly, just getting your ass out of bed right now and putting on clothes and getting through the day, you deserve a medal. These are unprecedented times, my friends. None of us have ever seen anything like this. I know that that we're standing on the shoulders of the generations that came before us that have survived unspeakable horrors. But in terms of what we've lived through, we've never seen anything like this. So just getting out of bed, getting yourself up, getting yourself dressed, showing up every day and making the decision that you're going to make today a good day. You're going to try hard to bring your best self to today, despite the chaos that's on the outside world that we didn't choose. You are choosing to show up as your best self. That, my friend, is worth cheering for. Pink went grocery shopping. You go, girl. That's right. Andre started working on the YouTube channel, something he's been wanting to do for a while. That is amazing. Bravo. Bravo. I love that. You're helping your coworkers? Amazing. Absolutely. Cooking 3 times a day, Mel? Can you come to my house when this is over? That's fabulous. I love it. We got Lifesaver taking an anatomy class online. We got Katie really being mindful about her emotional eating and being healthy. I absolutely love that. Sherry Bear, who's motivating me? You are motivating me. You are motivating me to show up. You are motivating me to not be a nagger. You are motivating me to walk out of here and walk into that kitchen and not scream my head off when I see that it is a disaster zone because everybody had lunch while I was sitting here working, right? I deserve a medal. I love that Layla is learning to make red velvet cake. That is fabulous. Absolutely fabulous. Ooh, Cleo helped her son apply for a scholarship. That's incredible. I am so proud of you. I am proud of you. And I also want to make sure that I tell you, in case nobody else tells you, I love you. I believe in you. I know we're going to get through this together. I know that there is an opportunity inside of this. There is some skill, some lesson, some person, some something that you are meant to come in contact with. You are meant to learn. You are meant to have happen to you right now. And it is preparing you for what's coming in the next chapter of your life. I believe that. Now, go out into your life and go make it super positive. And keep cheering for yourself and cheering for everybody you're coming in contact with, because we are all just doing the best we can. We have an incredible week next week on Stay Connected. We have amazing guests that we're going to start to bring on the show. We are also going to start bringing you on to get your questions answered and give you live coaching. So over the weekend, if you have found this to be helpful, could you do me a huge favor? Could you please share this with your friends? Please. Go to YouTube or Facebook. It's the fastest and easiest way to share it. Or you can go to melrobbins.com/stayconnected. We are redoing our entire website, so you'll be able to watch Stay Connected at melrobbins.com in a matter of just hopefully, a week or so. And we are building a global community. So if you found this helpful, please, please, please share the links with your friends. You can also sign up for our newsletter. We do not spam you. Hell, I haven't even sent out a newsletter in about a month. But it is going to be the fastest way to learn when you can start watching it live at melrobbins.com. Just go to melrobbins.com. The newsletter's right there on the homepage. Sign up. There's more than 500,000 people that are on our newsletter list, and we would love to have you join us. Anyway, I love you guys. I love you. Have an amazing time, and thank you for being here.